Everybody, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if this is your very first time joining me. My name is Jessica. I'm a mother as well as a makeup lover, of course. Here on my channel, we are loud and we are proud, okay? So if that's not your vibe, I'm so sorry. I am a mother of 3, so it does get really loud in my house, so just keep that in mind whenever you're watching any of my videos. These are the vibes today that we are going to be doing. This is going to be a kind of recreation of the very first time that I did this look, just 1,000 times better. So I'm going to be doing my eyes as well as my face makeup in today's video, so if you're curious about how I achieved this makeup, then you already know what to do. Please keep on watching. Tell me why I look like the girl from Wendy's right now. My palette of choice today is going to be the Beauty Bay Midnight Palette. Now hear me out, okay? We're playing with the blues today. Yes, I'm excited. Can you tell? Look at that cheesy ass smile. Okay. I'm going to be incorporating just a little bit of black into this look. So I'm going to start with the deepest blue first. And this is called Midnight. Like, literally it looks black, but it's really, really deep blue. I'm going to take this Jessup 234 Luxe Smoke Shader brush. So it's really just a flat packing brush, but it has enough, like, fluff in it that I'll be able to diffuse out the edges. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start by packing this all in my crease. I'm just going to go ahead and pack this all in my crease and start to buff out the edges a little bit. I'm not really worried about going in because I'm going to add more depth and everything. Every such thing, which way, that way. Look at that. Packed it down. Great. So I always like to make sure that when I am doing a cut crease, I'm always going to cut my crease out this way. So I want to make sure that when I open my eye, you could still see that deepest color. Next, I'm going to take this blue shade right here, which is called Denim, which I think is actually very, very accurate name for this shade. I'm going to take this on a just fluffy doe color brush, and I am just going to go right into little circle motions right over the edge of that shade. Even, you know, I find it to be a little bit quicker to blend if I kind of tap it over the edges first and then give it a little blendy blend, just to kind of lay the color down initially. My mirror is so dirty. I'm just gonna lay the shade down and diffuse the edges. I like to do that with every single color. I'll lay it down, diffuse the edges, and then just keep buffing it up. And then after I lay down every single one of my colors, just to see how far I could blend it, then I'll go back through and really intensify them, make sure none of the shades got lost in the sauce, and yeah. I'm going to take this blue shade right here, which is called C, and I'm going to do the same thing. Oh, this shade's super pigmented, and I took like a lot of it. I'm just going to diffuse out these edges, but I went in with like a lot of this, so we're going to have to go to like a light shade right away after that. Just because I'm an extra ass bitch. I think I'm going to mix the shade Elixir and Mist together. So I'm just going to take both of those shades on this fluffy brush. So I'll just dip just like this. And then I'm just going to go right in and start fluffing this edge out. So as you can see, that is very, very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's kind of harsh. So I'm going to take a clean brush, and I'm just going to dust over the edges of this. And then I'm going to go through all of my colors again. And then after I go through all of my colors to see if I want it any deeper, I'm thinking I'm going to add a little bit of black, but not too much because it's really dark already. This blue is like a very deep blue, so. Okay, so this is what both sides are looking like blended out. As you could clearly see, I really didn't bother with any of this area because I'm going to be cutting that out. So next I'm actually going to take a little bit of the black, which is called Hex, and I'm just going to take it on the exact same little brush that I took the blue on. And I'm just going to pop this black right in this little outer corner here. Just going to do little circles. Now I'm going to take my P. Louise cut carver and I'm going to go ahead and just cut out a little half cut crease moment. And then I'll go ahead and lay down my P. Louise blank canvas base. Now I'm going to start by taking the same little first brush that we used with the shade Midnight. And I think this is going to shock some of you, but I'm just going to go straight across. So this is shade Midnight. Then I'm going to take the shade Denim. I just switched over to a smaller brush. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of go straight across. I'll dust that off, and then I'm going to take the shade C. Dust the brush off, and then I'll take the shade Elixir. Tap that down. Dust it off. Shade Mist. Pack that down. Dust it off, and then I'll take the shade Foam, which essentially it's just like a, it definitely has like blue undertones, but it could damn well be white, maybe like a gray, like a bluey gray. And I'm just gonna tap this all on the rest of the lid. Now I'm gonna take some of my, this is the Made by Mitchell Graphic Ink Liner, and this one's in the shade Black Milk. Now, I really like this formula, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little half wing. So now, before that even dries, I'm just going to take a flat brush and kind of just tap the edge of this around to really blend it in to the black shadow. Ooh! My son just handed me his pants and his undies. So, as I was saying, I really like the Made by Mitchell Graphic Ink Liner formula because it very easily blends out if you need it to do that. But also it does dry down very stark matte. They're not waterproof, which I don't mind. I don't really need waterproof products. But like look at how effortlessly that blended out into that black shadow. Literally, I just tapped it in with a brush, and it's just such a good formula. I think I am going to keep this matte. I don't often do matte looks, so let's fucking do a matte look today. So let me go ahead and finish up this eye, and we will move on to our base makeup. So I'm going to start by taking the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I just really like this foundation. I'm also starting to hit the bottom of it, so that's really exciting. I always like to prime before I do like my eyebrows or my eyes or anything like that, so that way it has time to sit into my skin. Sink into my skin? Probably that. And then I'll just take this little e.l.f. brush and work it on in. Look at that shade match. I did a video not too long ago with the Beauty Creation foundation, and it's a nice foundation, but they were out of a lot of colors. So I was like, all right, I'll just, get what they have and work with it. Oh god, so pale. It was so pale. It literally made me whiter than I am, and that's impressive. That's impressive. Okay, now I'm going to take the Too Faced Born This Way in the shade Golden, and what I like to do with this is I take a little bit of the LA Girl Pro Color Foundation Mixing Pigment. And I'll mix some of this blue one in to make it more cool toned, to make it into an actual contour instead of like a bronzer. So I literally just take it onto the back of my hand and then work my brush into it. Whoops, too much, too much. Doesn't that already look so much more sculpted? Now I'm going to take the Made by Mitchell Blursh, and this one is in the shade Posy Rosy because I always like to do pink blush with blue. So I'll take some on the back of my hand, kind of spread it out a bit. And whatever's left on my finger, I'll put it on my brush. And then just work it in. My son's in my closet, which is right in front of me, and he's waving at me. Ooh, don't do that. You're so cute. Now I'm going to take the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer. This is just the regular one. And I'm going to take some of the Beauty Creation Flawless Stay Concealer. So do you remember I was telling you about how they didn't have all of the shades of foundation? Well, they also didn't have all the shades of concealer. So this one's a bit dark. A bit yellow toned. So we're going to mix it with the lighter one, which is the e.l.f. one. So I'm going to start with the Beauty Creation. And just lay this down first. So then I'll take some of the e.l.f. and just lay it right on top. When you first lay down the Beauty Creation one, it's really not that yellow tone, but it oxidizes really yellow. Look at that. Beautiful. I really like the e.l.f. Camo concealers. Like a lot. And then I always like to blend my concealer into my blush. I always like to go over with the powder blush, so I'm not worried about it really covering it up because it still has that beautiful flush under the concealer. But I also like to do my concealer first in case I get too heavy-handed with my blush. I could do this and it'll calm it down. But I think I didn't put on like that much blush, so I just kind of lightened it up a little bit. I wanted to try something new today, so I'm going to set my face with the Maybelline Fit Me, but this is the pressed powder. So I'm just taking this on a poof, and I'm going to set my face. Come here, baby. Don't be getting handsy, okay? And then I'll just take a fluffy brush with that same powder and set the perimeters of my face. Now I'm going to take the Benefit Bronzer Hula Light. My kid is in my lap, so if you see me kind of like this. Oh, I really like this blush for my bronzer. This is a Luxie 514 blush brush. But like, I don't know, for my bronzer, it just like gets right into my brow area. Right here, real good. Whoa. Now I'm going to take the NYX Sweet Cheeks, and this one's in the shade Daydream. I'm going to apply the... Ooh, dude. Keeps dropping my mirror. Here, get it. So I'm going to apply this out here into my temple area. Like that. And then I'm going to take the Unearthly Cosmetics. This is the Cherub Blush, part of their Sleepover collection. So it's just a nice pink. No, thank you. Ooh, too much, too much. This is a beautiful baby pink. Baby doll pink. And I'm just going to bring that a little bit further in and also up to my temples, on my nose. I'm almost out of this Maven Rosewater setting spray, so I'm going to set my face with this before I go in with highlighter. My son's like, damn, bitch, not much. So this is the Lele Posh X Ellie Star Highlighting Palette. So something that I noticed when I went to open it, do you see the oil patch? Now that's not necessarily like a bad thing. Just note that these do carry a lot of like oil in them, And I could see why she sells the package separately from the pans. Not only does she sell them in singles, but when I received the palette, I had to pop the shades into the pan, which is totally fine. If I would run out of a shade, I could just take it out and replace it. But with this on there now, I hope it just doesn't deteriorate the packaging. That's my only, like, I hope, you know, that's the only thing that I could be like, damn. But just note in the future, if you guys see this, like, oil patch, I don't care, but it's something to note. So because we did blue, I want to take the shade Pisces, yeah. Oh, yeah. My kids are monsters. Okay, so I'm going to take the shade Pisces, which is this one up here, and it has, like, blue, like, shine in it, shimmer. And I'm just going to buff this in. Oh, yeah. I think there's, like, some maybe purpley pinks in this as well, but there's definitely, like, blue shifts in this. But, I mean, look at that highlighter. Jesus Christ, man. I know people don't like me to use God's name in vain, but fucking A, look at that. Before, after. So now I'm going to take the same brush that I used to pack the shades across my lid, and I'm going to use those to smudge under my eye. So I'm going to start by taking the shade Midnight. And these are super pigmented, so you don't need a lot. And I'm going to do that. Ooh, focus. I'm going to do that like this much of the way. So like halfway, a little past halfway. Dust that brush off, taking the shade Denim. Wife beater with the denim. She keep them heels on high. Then I'll take the shade C and Elixir mixed together. Smudge this line. Dust it off one more time, and then the shade Mist. I'm gonna take this shimmer shade right here, which is called Shield, and I'm gonna put that in my inner corner. I'm going to take the Kaleidos, this is the shade Skywalker, and I'll put that in my inner corner, as well as the brow bone. I just realized I never even pushed start on my microphone, so if this sounds terrible, I'm sorry. Okay, let me finish my makeup since I'm all over the place. Okay, so here is the completed look. I feel like everything kind of, like, it's very simplistic, but also, though, too, like, it's very flawless at the same time. It's kind of, I feel like you could, I feel like I always say this, too, is, like, you could wear this no matter what you do, like, whether you're, like, no matter what the occasion is. But that's just, I think that's just me. Like, the extra bitch in me is like, oh, you could wear this anytime. Gotta go to the grocery store? Blue fucking cut crease. Boom. I mean, that highlighter is just, it's next level. Oh, and if you're curious about my lip combo, I went in with the Milani Color Statement Lip Liner in the shade Spice, and then the Hank & Henry, this is his Lip Aesthetic Matte Liquid Lipstick in the shade Mentirosa. I don't know if he still sells these specific ones, but I still have like 3 or 4 of them left, and they smell like birthday cake, and I was like the biggest, hardest Hank & Henry fan, but I don't know. I just felt like he kind of drifted off into other kind of arenas, purses, and like he came out with like a different like a sister company, the Makeup Institute, and I don't know. I just kind of drifted away from his brand onto other brands. So I have so many of his lipsticks, and they're all really good. I just don't know. I'm just not like up to date with the brand anymore, so I'm not really sure. So yeah, that is going to complete today's makeup look. I am literally fucking sweating, so I need to throw my hair up. But I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if you like me and if you like my content. Yeah, and without further ado, we're going to go right on ahead, roll the clip.